Hi everyone, it's Arlene with Design with Arlene. Well, now that Thanksgiving is over, I am focusing on getting my Christmas cards done and sent out. So here is a fun Christmas card for you. I'm starting out, I'm actually using the stamp set called So Many Stars. This is a set I'll be using just a couple of stamps from here. I'm also using the Nature's Roots framelits dies. There's a couple of the dies that I'll be using for in this particular card. Okay, so first let me show you the cards, or the cardstock that I'm using. So I'm starting out this time with a green card base. This is the shaded spruce cardstock that Stampin' Up! Carries. So this was an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I just cut it lengthwise down the middle, and then I scored it in half at 5.5 inches. I'm also using a couple of pieces of the Very Vanilla, and this is just cut a little bit smaller. This is going to be layered onto the base of my card like this, and this is for the inside of my card as well. I also have used a couple of pieces of Real Red cardstock and the Cherry Cobbler. These are just some scraps that I had around. You'll probably need at least like maybe a third of a sheet of the Real Red. I also used a piece of the Designer Series paper that wrapped in plaid. This one has some beautiful papers in here. So really any of these pieces and patterns would work for this particular card. There's the other side here. But I used this one. This is cut at it's a 1 inch wide, and it's 5.25 inches long. And then for the ribbon that I have, this is the shaded spruce. It's 3/8 inch ribbon, and it's got that little gold line running in the middle of it, which is really pretty. So I use that as well. Now, I told you that I was using the Nature's Roots thinlits. These are what I used. Let me see if I can put this on red here so you can see it better. So I used these two right here. These are what is actually going to cut the dies out, and the smaller pieces here that have the design, this really is just going to give you the embossed look. It's going to give those little veins in the leaves. So I used Real Red for the larger leaves, and then I use Cherry Cobbler for the small. So it's a leaf, however, we're going to use it for a flower instead of poinsettia. So let's put this flower together. And what I'm going to do too is just take a piece of scrap. I'm using Real Red here, and this is our 1.5 inch circle punch. This is going to be the base of my flower. I thought I'd have a nice base here. Then I'm going to just I'm just going to apply some adhesive just on this circle here. And then taking my leaves, I'm going to kind of just make like a little flower, a circular flower. Before I do that though, I'm taking a bone folder, and just on the underside of these leaves, I'm just going to just run it across the bone folder. Do you see how it kind of it curves it just a little bit though. You don't want a lot. So we'll do this really quickly with all of them, just a little, and I'll be using this for the smaller leaves as well. Okay, so we are all done. So let's go ahead and kind of start building this flower here. Next, I'm just going to do that layer of the smaller leaves and the Cherry Cobbler. So we've got the leaf here like that. Do you see the base? That circle right there was the base of the card, and that's what I built it up from. And we also have, the next thing I'm going to do is these are our little faceted gems. And this is the gold. They're self-adhesive, so I'm going to put right in the middle there. Now we're taking this strip of the plaid, and I'm going to be taking the ribbon. I just like to run a little bit of adhesive down here on the ribbon, and I like to get it to the edge here, so that way when I wrap around, I'll show you how I do that. There we go. And that way, because there's adhesive here on the back side of the ribbon, it just wraps around and it sticks to the underside of the paper like that. Now I'm going to be placing my ribbon here, or my paper, And then I want to put the flower, the poinsettia is going to be here as well. And I like to have it a little bit off center. So I think I'm going to do that. So let's go ahead and build this here. I'm going to put some adhesive here on the back side of the flower. Try to see where I want this, the best place. Right here. Okay, so now that we know where our flower is going to be placed, get it positioned, and before I glue it down, I want to go ahead and put, stamp a little saying here on the bottom right hand side. So since I'm going to be embossing it, I'm using this embossing buddy, and that's going to help from some of the other embossing powder that I don't want to stick on from not sticking on. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to place that down again. So you see where I want to position my stamp at. And I have a couple of stamps here. It's the word joy with a little star. And I have the Versamark ink. This is great if you're using it on colored cardstock, more for like a watermark look. But you can really see or not see. It really doesn't have much. You can barely see it. It almost just looks like wet. Because it is a slower drying ink, this is what makes it really perfect for embossing powder. So that's just sprinkle that on there, tap off the excess, and then the next thing that you'll need to do is heat that up so that way it makes it more permanent on there. So this is the heat gun. I'm just going to, it gets loud, so I'm just going to apply heat to it and you'll see it start to change. And I'm just going to add my adhesive right here. And put it on. The strip is just going to go, like I said, I wanted a little off center, so it's a little to the left. And then we'll just go ahead and take some scissors. I want to trim that excess off. And then let's adhere that onto the green card base. Okay, beautiful card. Now for the inside, let's go ahead and take that other piece of Very Manila. And I'm going to stamp, I think I'll stamp in Cherry Cobbler, the same. You want that to stay right, let's see, a little bit above so that I have room to sign our family's name on here. And then I also am taking some of the Shaded Spruce ink. Okay, and then next just apply some adhesive to the inside of my card. And place that inside your poinsettia card. I hope you enjoyed this card. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.